once again, for local legislators, it seems to be that it's more important to fund a bunch of grown men in tights play a kids game in a brand new Royal Stadium than it is to pass a basic budget bill. Last week, they failed to pass a bill that would essentially help with healthcare, public schools, officers, among many other things that the people of Missouri need. And this week, in the last minute of the last hour, in a bill that was already up for a vote, they added an amendment to fund the Royal Stadium. Essentially try to sneak it in there and give the Royals a blank check, because there was nothing in there about funding or how much this would cost the taxpayers. And I don't think they even cared about that, right? And so, all because we want to give Sherman a blank check to fund his big, shiny new stadium to compensate for something he doesn't have down there. And so these are the same people that we're talking about that there was no money in women's soccer, right? But yet the women in soccer funded their own stadium without a $2 billion blank check. Essentially, one of the things that was put out there, and it has been said on local media, which was mind blowing to me, that this was said in media, that the stadiums would pay for themselves because of the revenue that is generated. That's absolutely mind blowing, because every single study ever done about stadiums proves otherwise. We spend more on stadiums than the revenue that comes in from these stadiums. Just ask the Florida Marlins and the people of Florida who essentially did a similar deal, in which essentially they used city bonds to pay for the stadium. And so the interest rates on this were so high that the property assessments skyrocketed, bringing property taxes extremely high, which essentially raises rent on everybody in the city. So it doesn't matter if it's built in Clay County, Wyandotte County, or here in Jackson County. It doesn't matter. The local people end up paying for this in taxes. Why be so harsh on corporate douchebag like Sherman, the Royals owner? I believe that money could be invested into bringing high-tech companies into the city and competing with the world as far as technology, because I don't think the people know how far back we're behind. For example, even communist China is 30 to 50 years ahead of us as far as technology. That essentially means that we're living in the Stone Age compared to them. Imagine having electric cars that you don't even have to charge the batteries. You simply swipe it out in a matter of minutes. Imagine having bullet train public transportation that takes you across the city in a matter of minutes. Imagine having so strong of an economy that you don't charge your people property taxes, taxes on their cars. You don't think Sherman looked in other cities for a handout? He didn't get no offers other than on the Kansas side in Wyandotte County, which we all know is so gerrymandered that politicians on that side pretty much do whatever they want. So think about that. Think about that no one in the country wanted the Royals. But we're the suckers that are going to be stuck with a bill just because we want to give a welfare handout to a billionaire Sherman. I don't think so.